Let's find out what 2.5% of 120 is. Notice that the unit we're using here is kilometers, so 120 kilometers. First of all, let's write 2.5% as 2.5 over 100, because percent is hundreds. So 2.5 hundredths of is going to be multiplication. Let's write 120 as 120 over 1. We don't really like fractions that look like this when I have 2.5, so we're going to take this times 2, and then we have to take this times 2 as well, because 2.5 times 2 is going to be 5, which is an even number. That's much better. So 5 over 200 times 120 over 1. First of all, we can cross out a 0 here and a 0 here. We can simplify 5 over 20, because 20 is 4 times 5. So let's cross out the 5 here and a 5 in 20, and then we have the 4 left. Now we have 1 times 12 and 4 times 1. Let's write it like this: 12 over 4. Continue on the next row. 12 over 4 is 3, and the answer is going to be kilometers. So 2.5% of 120 kilometers is 3 kilometers. Then we write the answer: 3 kilometers. Let's do one more. Maybe a little more tricky. We're gonna calculate 7.5% of, this time in euros, 450 euros. Same thing as we did before. Let's write 7.5% as 7.5 over 100 of 450, multiplication. So multiply and 450 over 1. Same thing here. We don't like 7.5, so we're gonna take this times 2, so we get 15, which is an even number. We have to take times 2 here as well. Now we have 15 over 200 times 450 over 1. We can cross out the 0 here, a 0 here. Before we just continue and calculate 15 times 45, which is a pretty big number, we can still simplify a little bit more. So 15 is 3 times 5, 20 is 4 times 5. So we have a 5 in common here. Let's cross out the 5 and we have the 3 left. Let's cross out the 5 here and we have the 4 left, okay? 3 times 45 is 135. Down here 4 times 1 is 4. Let's continue on the next row. Now 135 over 4. This is not going to be an even number, so if we can't do this just by in our head, let's do it the other way. 135 over 4. (135 over 4). How many 4s goes into 1? nothing. 4 into 13, we have 3. 3 times 4 is 12. 13 minus 12 is 1. We move down the 5. How many 4 goes into 15? We have 3. 3 times 4 is 12. We're left with 3. Now we add a 0 here, because we don't have any more digits here. 30, how many times can we put 4 into 30? 7 times. Since it stops here, 135, we add the decimal point, comma, and then write 7. 7 times 4 is 28. 30 minus 28 is 2. We add a 0. How many times can we put 4 into 20? 5 times. And it's going to be exactly 20. So we will stop here. 20 minus 20 is 0. The answer is 33.75. Remember, the answer, we have to use the right unit. So the answer is going to be 33.75. Then we write euro sign in front of it.